Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm going to give you my reaction, my review of the latest Aquaman movie, the last of the DCEU. Let's have a moment of silence, please, for all of you Zack Snyder fans hoping for a comeback. It's not going to happen. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom just released this weekend. It's PG-13. It's 2 hours and 4 minutes. The story is about Aquaman balancing his duties. I said duty. His duties as king and as a member of the Justice League, all while planning a wedding. Black Manta is on the hunt for Atlantean tech to help rebuild his armor. Orm plots to escape his Atlantean prison. That descriptor on IMDb is very misleading. There is some inconsistencies with that, and I think that kind of lends to the story changing a few times. If you pay attention to the internet rumor mills about Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, there have been some changes. Different things had happened because of the changing of the guard, so to speak. The DCEU becoming now just the DCU. But James Wan was the director again, as he directed the first one. Let's just, some of the stars, if you don't already know. Jason Momoa plays Arthur Curry. Patrick Wilson, King Orm. Black Manta, played by Yahya Abdul Mateen II. And I really mean no disrespect if I pronounce that wrong. Nicole Kidman at Lana. Randall Park, Dr. Stephen Shin, and Dolph Lundgren is back. And Amber Heard doesn't even make the page on IMDb, and I think that's interesting. She is in the movie. If there are a lot of people that have like the Heard turd syndrome, and you're just gonna boycott this movie at this point because Amber Heard is in it, don't do that. Like, the movie is not revolving around her character or her at all. You got to move past it, and she's so little in the movie that if there were more scenes, and maybe that was some of the rewrites that had happened over time, she's very, very, very small part of this movie. So I'm going to say right off the bat, this is a very entertaining movie. This is a very action-filled, fantasy, almost sci-fi ish movie. If you really enjoyed the first movie, you'll probably like this one, maybe even better, because the story is already established, so we kind of hit the ground running. There's so much action in this and really good effects, a lot of underwater sequences. The characters developed, and it's a good story. So I want to say that first, because me personally, I don't like this Aquaman. I don't like the Snyderverse overall. I think that the casting of some of the characters was very, very good, and then there was some casting that was just very, very bad. And we could pick apart all sorts of franchises and say the same thing. So I'm not. If you're a fan, that's awesome. I'm happy that you had like a maybe better experience than I did with the Snyderverse. I just think there was a little bit too much going on too fast, but being able to watch a movie for what it is, and this is just like an action flick. There's nothing riding on this movie because it's the last of its kind. It's going to be the last, DCEU. We're not setting up things, so we don't have the pressure of having to weave story and other characters into it. So this is a straight Aquaman and all of the Aquaman extended cast type of a thing. There's nothing pressure on this film to build to anything, which I think works in its favor. Again, if you liked the first Aquaman, I think you're really going to like this, because it drew from a lot of the things that people liked in the first movie and kind of built on that a little bit. I really, really liked the new designs of the suits. Black Manta, even Aquaman himself, had a very, very cool, like, it just looked very vibrant on screen. Very, very well done. I love Black Manta. I think of all the characters that I didn't like the most, which is very surprising, because in Marvel, Randall Park is like one of my favorite parts of a lot of the things that he's in. Ant-Man, um, WandaVision, whatever else he's been in. I really enjoy him, but I see him as that quirky, kind of goofy character. And he, plays the Dr. Stephen Shin in this, which is like Black Manta's right-hand man, scientist tech guy. And I don't know. I wished had been a different character. I know he was in the first one, but Randall Park hadn't really blown up on the Marvel side as much. And I'm not against like actors flipping back and forth. I know Hollywood only has 10 actors to choose from for all these superhero movies. That's why they keep just recasting the same people in a Star Wars movie or in a Marvel movie or whatever. But he was just, and it's such a minor thing, but visually, this movie is very stunning. There's like so many special effects going on. You'll see a couple of times where maybe the CG was just a little wonky or whatever, but for the amount of CG that was probably put into this, like, you can't nitpick that. As far as action, lots of it, lots of good underwater stuff, I find this movie to be less of a superhero movie, although it's like lifted right out of comic books, and it's Aquaman who is a superhero, but the movie felt more like a very action oriented movie. Like the movie itself didn't like rely on superpowers and things like that. Like the movie's message, if there's going to be a message in a movie like this, was more about, you know, persevering, overcoming good versus evil, staying true to yourself, doing what's right for the people that are around you. Patrick Wilson's King Orm has his redemption arc in this. Black Manta's going to be bad, all the way through. I really, really like Abdul Mateen's portrayal of Black Manta. Very, very focused, very, very intense actor. He was definitely like the straight man of the movie. Patrick Wilson, the brother of Aquaman, they have kind of like a team up type big section of this movie is more like I don't want to call it a buddy cop because that's so cliche, but it's kind of like a buddy cop comedy type thing. So if you appreciate Jason Momoa's acting style and comedy, you're definitely going to like this. For me personally, if he's truly going to be Lobo, I really can't wait for that because I know I'm going to love him in that. I didn't like it for Aquaman. In my head, I've just grown up reading comic books and being infused with the Super Friends and all the cartoons and things. So Aquaman in my head is a different character than what this was. I think originally when they did the first Aquaman, they had a good opportunity to do kind of like a Black Panther storyline, the son of a king has to take over the kingdom, high tech, and you protect it from the outside world. And they could have, I don't want to say copied Black Panther, but Black Panther is one of my favorite of all the Marvel movies. That first Black Panther moved me in a lot of ways, and Aquaman could have done that if they had chose to go that serious route. I know that wasn't the direction at the universe that they were building at the time, but it's a good movie. Let me know. I wrote something with the word lame next to it. Oh, the ending. There's like an end credit, and then the very, very ending. Not spoiling it. I did feel it was a little cheesy, and maybe they were making a poke at Marvel with a certain dialogue scene. Maybe they were just having fun. Like I said, this movie doesn't build towards anything, so you can go in this, just enjoy it. It's, I think, releasing at a really good time, right over the Christmas break. So it's a good family film. Go have fun on an afternoon when the kids are off school. Get all the popcorn you can, and just enjoy it. Just enjoy it. I enjoyed it, despite my, not liking the direction that this character had in this. I can still appreciate all of the story and the direction. It's just an easy to watch movie. Nothing to get all cringed up about. And all you Amber Heard turd fans or whatever, or haters. She's so small in this movie, so small. Don't boycott this movie because of her, please. I would love to see this movie do as well as the first one. I have no hate for any superhero movie, even if I don't like it. I don't want it to do bad because I want the industry to do well. I want good stories, good movies, and the superhero genre will continue to thrive, just like the horror genre. So let me know in the comments down below. This rambled on way longer than I expected. Thanks for tuning in to the JLAmember channel. Keep checking back for more great stuff.
Row 18, plot 20.